Media has called MOVE a back-to-nature group of radicals, the human species at its lowest form, and finally wrote, the word MOVE means nothing at all.
The MOVE organization, leading or misleading?
Move means just that, to move, to be active, to generate.
MOVE is a liberation back-to-nature group whose radical politics created strong reactions from 1975 to 1985 in Philadelphia.
The neighbors started having mixed reactions towards MOVE because of their extreme and sometimes violent actions, while the city of Philadelphia also had a problem with them. The city's reaction was over the top, causing a shootout and bombing. The MOVE organization started to mobilize in Philadelphia in 1975, around the time Mayor Frank Rizzo came into office. A former police commissioner, Frank Rizzo, had a history of being tough on radical African-American groups like MOVE. MOVE were mostly African-American, led by a man named Vincent Leapart, now best known as John Africa.
John Africa made us a family, a revolutionary family.
MOVE demonstrated against police stations, school boards, and public figures who they accused of misleading the people, coming up with problems, not solutions. MOVE owned a property on Osage Avenue. The MOVE organization had their own belief with different parts, the mind and body. The belief is made up mostly of these basic parts.
Life. They believe in preserving all life, and they consider all life forms equal, so they keep alive pets. Self-defense. They believe all life has the right to self-defense, to defend themselves.
Before 1978, with the first huge incident, there were arrests and demonstrations. Frank Rizzo was very hard on them. The organization owned a house on Fulton Avenue. The main incident was where MOVE members were returning from jail and were outside greeting their fellow members that didn't get arrested when a police car with no lights pulled up and said they got a report on a disturbance and were checking it out. This evolved into a fight where MOVE member Janie Africa was holding her son when he was ripped out of her hands, thrown to the ground, and stepped on by the police. He was killed under the heavy police boot. The MOVE organization displayed the baby as proof, but the police disregarded that because the MOVE organization denied the city's access to do an autopsy.
By 1978, MOVE had been arrested hundreds of times with bill amounting to $1 million.
On each side, the charges mounted. MOVE accused the city of systematic persecution and violence, resulting in 2 stillbirths and the death of an infant crushed in a police attack. The city charged MOVE with everything short of larceny and murder, climaxing with a plot to obtain nuclear weapons.
May 20th, 1977, the MOVE organization came out on their porch brandishing firearms. After that, the police put up a 24-hour watch on the MOVE headquarters, which cost the city millions.
1978, a blockade went up involving 1,000 police officers. No food or water was permitted to enter the MOVE compound. On May 9th, MOVE surrendered its weapons and allowed the city to search their home. In the form of a court order, the city gave MOVE 90 days to move. August 2nd, 1978, the 90 days were up and MOVE had not left their headquarters.
The mayor launched an attack on the MOVE organization house. According to most witnesses, the first shot was fired from behind the police lines and not from the MOVE house. It killed Officer James J. Ramp, entering the back of his head. Then the police opened fire and shot into the basement of the MOVE house, where witnesses claimed to have heard babies crying. The police emptied their guns, reloaded them, and emptied them again. The MOVE organization surrendered and came out. Then there was even more chaos, a beating of Delbert Africa, who was beat and kicked by 4 policemen.
Amazingly, no MOVE members were killed, but 9 were arrested on charges of murder, riot, and at the trial conspiracy. The judge, and I quote, said, "I didn't want to pinpoint each crime, so I charged them with conspiracies, which is illegal." So the MOVE members, or MOVE 9, as they were called, went to jail with sentences that ranged from 30 to 100 years in jail. A couple years after the shootout, there was immediate blackout, and the MOVE organization moved to a location on Osage Avenue, where they continued to protest against the government, but their main focus was freeing the MOVE 9.
The MOVE members set up a loudspeaker on the house to persuade neighbors or others of the evils of the system and to urge them to free the MOVE 9. These speeches ran on all hours of the day and night full of profanity and foul language. Move's neighbors were also concerned with rats, foul smells, naked children running around freely, stray dogs hanging around, and Move's unconventional lifestyle.
That the Move organization would walk up and down the rooftops on 62nd and Osage, and you could hear the loudspeaker, I don't know what you would call them, speeches. Many of them were peppered with profanities. Some of them were antagonistic to the neighbors. And it's an interesting situation because I kind of can respect what I know to be their message about what the true profanities in America are, like poverty and racism and environmental abuses. But on the other hand, as someone who lived in the neighborhood, that was a very difficult thing to live with.
Then, the Move members came onto their porch and guarded themselves with firearms under the blaring loudspeaker. The police were immediately contacted, and they set up a 24/7 watch on the Move house. This situation went on for a year and cost the city millions. Then elections came, and a new mayor replaced Frank Rizzo. The new mayor, Wilson Goode, was African American. After Wilson Goode's election, neighbors started to protest against Move and asked every politician in the city to take action. No one did. They petitioned the state. Finally, the Republican governor pledged to handle the situation, which was a humiliation for the Democratic mayor and mostly Democratic city's officials. They insisted they would resolve it. Worried, Move members prepared itself for another shootout by building a barricade on the house and posting guards in the barricade with guns pointing out at all hours of the day.
On May 11, 1985, Judge Lynn Abraham signed 5 arrest warrants for Ramona, Conrad, Frank, and Teresa Africa. Wilson Goode said he wanted 2 conditions: no Move children in the house and no policemen involved in the earlier Move shootout to be present. May 13th, the police launched a full-scale military attack on the Move house, with weapons ranging from revolvers to Uzis to sniper rifles with silencers. The police flooded the area with tear gas and shot over 10,000 rounds of ammunition at the house in a 90-minute period. They used fire hoses to saturate the house with hundreds of gallons of water. When those tactics failed to dislodge Move, the police dropped an incendiary device, or bomb, on the Move compound. The result was horrific. The bomb started fire, which the fire trucks and police did nothing to extinguish, while the fire burnt down 64 houses.
When Move members tried to escape, they were driven back into the blaze by police gunfire. 11 people died, all Move members, including 5 children. Only 2 Move members escaped, Ramona Africa and her son Bertie Africa. Ramona Africa was charged with 7 years in jail.
Their intention was to kill everybody that day. It was to kill everybody.
Fire experts that were hired by the Move Commission said the temperatures in the house reached 2,000 degrees. You melt steel at 2,000 degrees.
Deliberately set our kids afire, a blaze, burnt them alive, gave them no avenue of escape, and when they tried to escape, shot them down.
And not a single police officer, police department official, fire department official, or city official ever faced criminal charges.
Today, 35 years later, after the bombing on Osage Avenue, the Move organization is still active in West Philadelphia. In response to the 61 houses that burnt down on May 16, 1985, the city of Philadelphia rebuilt the entire couple of blocks. However, people have complained of multiple issues with the quality of the building, the wiring, and plumbing. To this day, there are many problems with the block and with
Today, there are still tensions between Move and the police. Because of national attention given to the bombing, the police know they cannot afford another confrontation with Move.